Oh my God.
What's up, everyone? Showdown, breakdown, Monday Night Football. Raiders at the Lions. Where my turds at? What a week. Bobbywow, take that turd hat. There's nowhere in the turd hat for you.
Oh.
I am taking my medicine today. For everybody who watched Tournament Tactics on Friday, Bobbywow's call of DeAndre Hopkins, a little Levis to Hopkins stack. And what do I do? I'm like, no, hell no. I played the song.
Bishop too. The Bishop owes me an apology.
The Bishop, he was unfriended. And now look what happened. Now, in fairness to me, I just did all that so you guys would remember to play the play. I had to play it up.
Yes.
Exactly.
But some incredible calls from Bobbywow.
Wow. And let's not forget, too, the Gus Bus call for Geek. That was gorgeous.
That was good.
And you got a lot of flack from us for that.
Yeah, you guys were ripping on me on my Gus call.
Some good calls overall.
Here's how soft I was on the Gus call. I also bet him. I bet him to score a touchdown, which was a big bet for me this weekend. Gave it out in the Sharp Discord. Also bet him to score 2 touchdowns, which was plus 500.
Ooh, that's
what
nice.
I didn't do was bet him to score 3 touchdowns, which could have been about a plus 3,000. Didn't see that one. But yeah, we had some good calls this weekend, and we got a game tonight.
Wow. They really gave you a lot of space.
That's from Bobbywow. If you played Levis to DeAndre Hopkins, though, congratulations on that. That's how you win the Millie Maker. Well done. And of course, it's all in good fun. A lot of times I'm pretty much always wrong when Bobbywow makes a crazy call. And at that point, I like it. And you know how Pollard failed? He failed because Dak Prescott went crazy, and that's how it goes.
And the defense.
Yeah. Yeah, but mostly Dak Prescott went nuts. But we got a game and a good one tonight. Jimmy G is back. Back again. Jimmy's back. Tell your friends.
That helps out this offense.
It massively helps out and now we have a real game. So before it was going to be kind of like, a tout game where all the touts were going to tell you to play Kevin O'Connell and his fucking shitty ass like projections. And we were going to laugh at them and be like, let's do this again where we take their money. But unfortunately, Jimmy's playing. So now we have a real game going on here. So we have to really account for both of these offenses as whole and complete. One really good thing for us is that Montgomery is out. I'm trying to make the screen bigger. Montgomery is out, which gives us another week of potentially Jahmyr Gibbs getting all the touches. And look what he did last week, guys. Jahmyr Gibbs, 86% of the snaps. 21. He got most of the rush. It's interesting. They brought in Craig Reynolds a little bit for 21%, but he got 78% of the rushing and a 20% target share in this last game, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he was bell cow last week. And I don't know that I believed that he could do it, but he looked great out there. I mean, obviously the Lions got pumped, but
I was going to say some of that was blowout, especially the targets late. I'm not sure I expect him to get like another 20% target share. So we'll see. Bobbywow, what's going to happen with Gibbs? Does he get the 20% target share at this point?
I think so. I don't see why not. I mean, Dan Campbell's talked about pounding the rock, and we didn't think he'd use Gibbs. He did. And, Gibbs is a pass-catching guy. So, yeah, I don't see why not.
Wide receiver last week, we saw, similar snap counts. I think one interesting one to note for today, I'm assuming Antoine Green was kind of a garbage time guy. I'm not really sure how he got a 44% count last week, but
Wiz Khalifa had a hammy that he went out like in the third quarter.
Oh, the Wiz goes out. Okay, because I was going to say, if that doesn't happen, Khalif Raymond is out there a lot.
Yep.
And so it's a lot of wide receivers. They must be playing a lot of 4 wide, and they or at least quite a bit of 4 wide. And then you see here, Brock Wright is getting in the game a little bit at tight end.
And the issue here with the receivers this week is that Amon-Ra popped up on the injury report yesterday for an illness, and he says he's going to play tonight. He's not like a game time decision, but who knows?
Gosh.
Yeah. By the way,
so that's a little iffy.
I think the Levis stack outscores this. Just nobody played it.
Nobody played it.
Levis was the nuts play. No one played it.
Gallup wasn't in the he did nothing.
No, Levis was the nuts play. The won is irrelevant to what could have won. Anyway, excuse me, guys. So going through the wide receiver group, Amon-Ra still obviously the alpha in this offense, 28% target share on the season, coming off a big week last week. Again, last week's game, you don't have to throw it out because that was a blowout game. So you have to kind of understand what was going on in a game like that. These percentages will change a bit. Jameson Williams getting worked into that offense a little bit more, I guess. But still,
he had
still only 44%.
6 targets last week, 0 catches.
Yeah, it's not that good.
He's getting a ton of air yards. They're looking for him deep, but he came up short on one, and he dropped 2. I like him. I think he's got the upside, but there's no floor.
He's definitely not a build around stud for this slate for me. He's just another piece that you'll mix in. Antoine Green, is this somebody we need to account for?
No, I say that, and Simi Fehoko scored at 0.04% fucking ownership last night.
So many turds last night.
The Wiz is back.
I wrote up more turds than I've ever written up, and I did not write up the 0.04% owned touchdown.
Is right. I can't believe it. But the way last night went was just bananas. But that you know what? That's how it goes. You know what was crazy last night was as good as Eckler was. It was a Kittle, not Kittle. It was the tight end in the nuts lineup. Who the fuck was it?
Parham.
It was a Parham. No, he couldn't have been in the nuts.
He had a touch. He had a big day. Parham.
I don't know who it was, but it wasn't cheap. Eckler. It wasn't
Keenan Allen.
No, it wasn't Keenan Allen. But it doesn't matter. Whatever. All right. So Sam Laporta, another one. So on the Lions side, your studs are Goff, Gibbs, Amon-Ra, and Laporta. I would put in the stud category.
Yeah, I think he can get there.
Yeah. So the Raiders on the road here, Garoppolo back, and that's a really good thing. So Jimmy's back, and that's really good for this offense. One thing of note that we talked about the last time the Raiders were on one of these is that the Raiders don't spread the football around like other teams do. Take a look at the target percentage here. Can you see it? Can you see this? All right, yeah. Take a look at the target percentages here. Okay. 26% Adams, 28%. Now, if you go season long, maybe that's a little more descriptive. 30%, 23%. And then most nobody gets a target. I mean, Michael Mayer's targets have been increasing. Sam Mayer, Michael Mayer,
John Mayer.
Sam Mayer's the NASCAR Xfinity guy. Michael Mayer. His target share has been increasing a little bit, and I like him, but he is not elevated to what I would call stud. And all these other guys, is it Trey Tucker or is it Hunter Renfrow? Trey Tucker got all those snaps last week in garbage time. Yep. I don't think it's him. I think it's Renfrow that's going to get more snaps.
I mean, neither of them get looks. I think Renfrow has the safer floor. Tucker has the better ceiling. Tucker's the rookie who he's got tons of speed. He can catch a deep ball here now, especially with Jimmy G throwing it. They're going to get him involved that way. But, I mean, he is more likely to score a 0 than Renfrow is probably.
How cheap is Tucker?
Cheap.
It's like a 600,
but so
right?
Renfrow, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Renfro's also super cheap. So those guys are in the turd mix along with a lot of other players. Your studs, though, are definitely Adams and Myers with a nod to Josh Jacobs. Of that trio, do we have a preference here? Is there a matchup-based preference?
No, I mean, there's a salary preference. Myers is insanely cheap.
Yeah,
Myers is over 2,500 cheaper than Devontae Adams.
I mean, rightfully though, Devontae Adams is a super stud, where Myers is just kind of studly.
On FanDuel though, Devontae Adams is cheap.
Really?
Yeah,
touchdown guy. All right,
12-5.
so there's
12-5.
some edge there. Some edge there. I like it.
Like you can. Here's the problem though. Like FanDuel is going to be a massive split tonight. Like unless you get really funky, because the pricing just. I mean, you can build a lineup that is, I think, Goff, Adams, Gibbs, Laporta, and somebody else. I don't know. It's not hard to build a lineup. Myers.
I like it. Speaking of Myers snap count has been increasing steadily week after week after week, 70% last week. That has come at the expense of Austin Hooper, the veteran, who's going down. I think Austin Hooper is still somebody that like is in my turd mix this week.
Yep.
But you know, no different than any of these other zeros that are going to be out there, and we're just hoping for one reception. Did I forget anything? Did I miss anything here, or do we want to kind of jump into it?
No, we can get into it, but I think Zamir White is playable as a backup running back. I think you need to get some exposure to some of these guys.
Yeah. I mean, he's a live,
catches
body.
and passes.
He's a live body. Amir Abdullah might be also. He gets a couple snaps.
Yep.
Might throw to him. They might throw to him. Gibbs, I like a lot. I don't know if he's is he chalk? Is he gonna be chalk?
You'd think, right?
Yeah, he'll be. Yes, he'll be chalky.
Is he? Yeah, a chalk captain. Okay, maybe. I think there's a lot of potential captain plays. On this slate. So I'm not really sure.
Let's look at it. Let's take a look.
I was so excited. You were gonna grill Josh for all the captain plays after all those times for me, and now we're letting him off the hook.
No,
You're gonna scroll for like an hour.
What's that?
No, not an hour.
Oh my God, there's a lot of captain plays here. Hold on, I see it now. All right, let's go.
1, 2, 3. There's not Jimmy G. There's not Jimmy G.
Oh, thank goodness. I was gonna rip the Jimmy G. Of course, at this point, people who follow this show, if I'm ripping somebody now, they automatically are.
Now you know that you just play the opposite.
Yeah, go over the field. That's only if it's a Bobbywow play. DFSupNORTH plays when I rip them, they don't work out.
I would beg to differ, but
yeah, you are right. You're right. They do work out too. Damn it. All right. Captain. So you kind of want to stud in the captain spot. I think especially Raiders don't really spread the football around to where you even fuck with any of their secondary guys. Amon-Ra, sure. Yep. I don't think an illness is something that's going to scare me off. DFSupNORTH. Actually, let's take a quick look here. Let's look at the power rankings first.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Las Vegas is projecting for 29 rushing yards in this game.
I'll take the over. Here.
Hold on. I have a secondary backup to this that I'm going to check in a second. But the Raiders are projecting for 29 rushing yards in this entire game.
That's not great.
What would Bobbywow do in that situation?
I don't know. That was just the most raw, genuine reaction that I've ever seen.
I should have looked at this before. What the F? 29? That's the lowest number you're ever going to see. What the fuck? I don't think it's wrong. It's a correct number. And the reason it's that is because Detroit is allowing 31 fewer rushing yards per game below average. And I'm going to tell you right now that when you go to the rushing offense of the Raiders, it's not going to be very good. Yeah, It is terrible. So offensive rushing for the Raiders, where is it? Yeah, minus 54. So it is, they are averaging 54 fewer yards than the average NFL team. So they've just been a horrible rushing team. You want to bet that under tonight on rushing yards for Jimmy? We'll take a look at that in a minute. But let me just back this up with Detroit defense. This is the sheet that DFS Spreadsheets puts together. Detroit against the running back. -6. I don't really know what this means. I don't fully
points
grasp
allowed, right? They're allowing.
Yeah,
points.
they're good.
Less
They're
points.
good against the running back.
Yeah, 6 fewer points per game.
Yep.
So there we go. All right, where were we? Here we go. All right. So anyway, sorry for the side delay, but I wanted to just check some matchups because I guess that's why you only have 2.5 stars on Jacobs there. It doesn't bode well for Josh Jacobs on the road as an underdog against a really, really good Detroit rush defense. Doesn't mean he can't get there.
No, we've seen him, obviously smash in spots like this before. So
yeah, he can
Josh
get
Daniels is a terrible coach. So, I mean, who knows?
Jacobs also can catch a pass, and this is raw rushing yards.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Jacobs is one of the higher pass catching running backs in the NFL. So let's not go crazy. It's hard to take me serious rocking the turd hat, but
I believe you.
This is what it is. All right. So anyway, guys, for those of you who are watching, we're going to continue this on, but I'm going to ask you a favor right now. I did not turn on monetization for this video. I want to keep it free for the people. But in order to do it, I need you guys to be subscribed to the channel. So what I'm going to ask is, if you're watching and you're enjoying and you're not a DFS Army YouTube channel subscriber, hit the subscribe button right now. And when we'll see that, we'll keep these showdowns, these lives, and especially these showdown breakdowns, no monetization. Keep it free for the people. But just hit that subscribe button so I know you're out there, because realistically, when we don't turn it on, YouTube doesn't spread it around. They won't promote your video if you don't turn it on, because they want to make that money. So I'm asking you guys to engage and hit the subscribe button so that so we can keep this going without charging, without monetizing and getting those annoying commercials in here. All right. Davante Adams, stud. Is there any cornerback situation on either team where I got to be scared of like a corner? There it is. Huzzah to Josh Sands. You know what's up? Keep it free, bro. Keep it free.
No, I mean, there's not. The issue maybe for the Lions on that side of the ball is that their offensive line, like Frank Ragnow, their center's going to be out tonight. They're shifting guys around. So maybe Goff's under a little bit more pressure. But no, there's no cornerbacks that I'm really concerned about.
Neither team has a corner that's going to slow down. So it's important to know this for Davante, because Davante Adams is usually going to lead the way for the Raiders, unless like there's an elite corner, and then it tends to shift to the law firm. But for now, I think what I'm hearing is lock and load Davante Adams going to get all the looks.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Branch has been good in the slot, but I mean, outside of that, it's Cam Sutton,
Talk to me.
Jerry Jacobs.
Talk to me about why you are giving Amon-Ra 1 star more than Davante Adams.
Because the Lions are better than the Raiders.
That's a fair answer.
And Amon-Ra is a competent quarterback throwing him the football.
Also fair.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy G is serviceable, right? Like, I mean, Adams has massive ceiling, but Amon-Ra has the 30-point every week.
I'm going to tell you right now, Jimmy G is also somebody who yeah. This is why I'm wearing the turd hat. All of that goes hand in hand with the fact that Will Levis had a great game. Understand, it was going one or two ways.
And we talked about that too.
Yeah, that is a leverage against the defense, right? You're playing a defense because the opposing quarterback looks like shit. But if he has this great game, that messes up the defense play. So anyway, let me ask you this. Jared Goff, 4.5 stars. The fuck is that?
Because he does it every week.
Finally.
Stop.
All right, let's go through the game long.
I don't think so.
Obviously got crushed, but 25.4 against Tampa, 27.4 against Carolina, 19 against Atlanta, 26.9 against Seattle. Like, he gets over 25 3 times already this year. That's enough to get there.
What did Amon-Ra put up in those games?
Or
Gibbs. I believe one of them was the Gibbs explosion.
One of them was Gibbs was last week, but the one game against Carolina, that was the game that I think he beat everybody.
He ran for a touchdown. Listen, what you're asking for in that scenario is for, and I will give you this, without Montgomery on the team,
Tush push is
it's
there.
more likely that he's either throwing for touchdowns or running. Like, it increases the likelihood of touchdowns coming from Jared Goff's arm. But I also think it helps Gibbs and Amon-Ra and those other dudes like Laporta as well. So, okay, I just wouldn't have him as my highest. I think he's okay here, but I probably shift that to like maybe 3.
Are you on FanDuel? Is that on DraftKings? Oh,
yeah,
it is.
DraftKings.
You know, I like him. Hey, the price is right.
All right, that's fair.
He's your safest bet at captain.
Cash captain.
Yeah.
Although no, I wouldn't do that either. But
and he's at home.
Jahmyr Gibbs getting all the run.
Gibbs
Obviously,
not
a
your
really
cash
good spot. No, but no, he could be. He could be. He's a good spot. I think it's probably more like Devontae Adams, to be honest with you. I don't see how this game goes down without Devontae Adams getting, 12, 13 targets. Like, he's going to be thrown to. And no one can really stop. So I see that. I see those pass catchers for the Raiders both having a good game. They throw a lot. And if you're stopping Josh Jacobs, it's at the benefit of the wide receivers. Like, if you can't run on Detroit, you're going to have to throw the football. He knew I was going to give him shit about it.
I think I meant for it to be a 4-star, but I might have accidentally clicked the half. But yeah, you're right.
Changing it for you. Forcible change. Veto. I just vetoed it.
Just vetoed it.
Yes.
Got vetoed by a guy in a turd hat.
In a turd hat. That is embarrassing for
What
you.
is my life coming to?
Embarrassing for you, not for me. Listen, it's almost Halloween. It's kind of Halloween. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's
get a showdown on Halloween.
This is a lot of names. And I would say that
could they get there?
We don't have to have all of them in our pool, but Jacoby Myers. I love Jacoby Myers here. Absolutely.
The price
a little
is right.
savings. Little savings.
Your lineup looks so much better with Jacoby Myers in it.
It looks really good. I've already made, like, my handcraft had Jacoby in it because it just felt good. Yep. Right? Laporta's having a lot of good games as well. 7,400 priced up. Josh Reynolds is a tough sell for me at 62 with other guys healthy on the team.
He's I think that if Amon-Ra is limited, then he's the guy.
I don't think Amon-Ra's illness is not the same thing. Although Bijan showed us sometimes like a headache might take you out.
Pat Mahomes looked last week.
This week, Pat Mahomes, right?
That's what I meant.
Yeah. That dude, what's going around, man? Whatever the hell Pat Mahomes had.
Better hope that's not what Amon-Ra has.
It causes you to lose to Denver. That's rough.
Yeah.
Bobbywow, any of these captains stand out for you the most?
This comment section is so good again today. I think Jamison Williams as a dart throw is really interesting. I love his upside.
Yeah.
So I'm glad Josh included him there.
I wish he was cheaper. He should be like $3K or $2,500.
He's in that weird price range.
Yeah.
It's a bizarre price range, but that just means you don't have to play him as much to get leverage. Yep. So I kind of like taking a dart punt on him. I really like Laporta. Laporta is one of my favorite all-around plays tonight. It's going to be my most popular flex play.
Wow.
I really love him in the captain spot as well. But again, like guys like Devontae, his ceiling, Amon-Ra's ceiling's definitely higher than Laporta. I just think the combination of price and upside is still there for him. There's still a lot of meat left on the bone. So I like him a lot.
Good touchdown argument for Laporta would be, again, no Montgomery. They're at the 5-yard line. Instead of trying to smash it home with 200-pound Jahmyr Gibbs, little play action toss to the tight end.
And those with the injuries to their offensive line and shuffling guys around, like we could see some of those mid-range targets to Laporta really sort of stack up on DraftKings.
I like it.
One other thing to call out too is just, again, I love Josh having Josh Jacobs lower on the scale. Obviously, he could go off anytime, right? We've seen massive games from Josh Jacobs last season, but he's going to be over 50% owned across the board.
That's crazy.
And so
that's crazy.
To me, I love being underweight there. I think that's a great call out, Josh. I'm right there with you.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course,
here we go.
You'd make a lot of money if you did these things. Semper knows you'd make money. If I start to think a play sounds really stupid, you need to play that every time. Like, that is silly for the millie. Play Levis to fucking Hopkins. By the way, Hopkins did it on 3 receptions, 4 receptions, 3 touchdowns.
Wild.
That's why it's silly for the millie. Yeah.
I sat that fucker in a season-long league.
Ooh,
I would have done the same thing in season long. That's a millie play, not a season long
play.
It's
a silly for the millie. All right, so let's talk about some of the turds that make it possible to play 3 or 4 of these studs in your lineups, and that's what you want to do, right? Let's just break it down, right? You want 3 or 4 of Amon-Ra, Adams, Goff, Jimmy, Gibbs, Myers, and Laporta. That's the stud crew.
Yep.
You want 3 or 4 of them in your lineup, and in order to make it work, you've got to play a couple of these turds, and so take me through the kind of turd zone here. And is there anybody that stands out? Michael Mayer, 3,800 sounds really good.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of taken over as the number 1 tight end, right? And he's been good. The thing we should point out is Daniel Carlson is still dealing with a groin injury. They signed a kicker off the practice squad, but they're saying that Carlson is still going to be game time. So McCord is the guy that they signed off the practice squad. So we'll see when inactives come out at 5:45. But that's usually not a good sign, right? I think that Craig Reynolds is interesting here. I mean, back up to Gibbs. We saw Gibbs be kind of the guy last week, but they still gave Reynolds the ball a decent amount, right? 3,200, which is a little pricey for a backup, but he could score.
Reynolds seems super sneaky because he had a Q tag coming in last week as well, and he was fully game flowed out of that game. They were destroyed. So that was a lot of I'm going to not believe what happened last week, and I'm going to choose to believe that Reynolds will get a little bit more run this week, and he might even, it's not unthinkable that he gets the full Montgomery run.
Sure.
Yeah, like he could be in there on the goal line, and you might see a game where Reynolds gets 12 carries and Jahmyr Gibbs gets 13, 14 opportunities. That is not outside of the realm of shit that could happen.
And I hate to follow narratives, but you watch some of the in-season Hard Knock stuff with the Lions they love Craig Reynolds. Dan Campbell loves Craig Reynolds.
And he double reason, 2 reasons last week it didn't work. Again, Q tag and game flow, they were blown out. If anybody's going to surprise on this slate and get more work than we're thinking, especially based on the matchup sheet, it's probably Reynolds.
20.5 yardage prop. It's not bad.
Yeah, no, I like that at that price. And he could score a touchdown. He has a goal line role. Absolutely in play. Anyone else?
I mean, Trey Tucker, obviously we talked a little bit about him. I think that he's intriguing. I don't mind Zamir White, same sort of concept, right? I do like Brock Wright. He plays enough, right? Laporta, I think that they're going to have Wright out there more this week just due to their offensive line issues because he's the blocking tight end. And we could see that little blocking tight end sneak out at the goal line, touchdown, 1 catch thing, kind of like Fehoko last night. So I could be talked into Brock Wright. And then, I mean, neither of these defenses are very good, but the Raiders Max Crosby can get after the ball. You know what I mean? There's some upside, I think, that with some lower owned defenses here.
Yeah, I can see it. Both defenses, I think, are playable. Bobbywow, what about you? In the in sort of the cheap zone, we kind of have an idea of who the studs are. How do I fit them in here? Give me who are a couple of these cheapies that may pop for you.
I'm right there with you guys. Michael Mayer to me is the standout guy. he was meant to fulfill this pass catching role in the Raiders offense. I think he was drafted like real high up in the second round. He's a guy that can do it all.
Yeah, Notre Dame, right?
He's a stud. Yeah, he's a good football player.
Mayer was the first one. No, he was. Oh no, he went in the second round. That's right. But he was originally projected to be even the number 1 tight end off the board.
I think. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. The Bills he's a good player. Everybody for a loop with taking like a kind of a wide receiver tight end type, and kind of threw everybody for a loop there. So yeah, I like that. I like that play.
Yeah, Mayer, Reynolds, and then Reynolds obviously the second one. I think Wiz Khalifa worth a look, number 1, because we love saying his name. But if he's back, he'll see 40%, 50% of the snaps, and he can always catch a target in the end zone. So interesting punt too.
I think it's pretty. What I like about the slate so far is, it doesn't seem like we need to like shuffle through a million of these cheapies. You're probably only using one of them in any particular lineup. So it'll be like something like this, maybe a kicker, and then hopefully your 3 or 4 Studley players. Well, this is true.
Yeah, that's not true. Yeah,
it's very true. It's very true.
DFS
all right, is the GOAT. Let's jump over to DraftKings and see if we can make a lineup using some of those notes. So get me started here. You want to do Devontae? We could do Jameer or even Jacoby.
I like Myers. I like Myers here.
All right.
What does it look like with Myers at the top? Yeah, let's see that.
I definitely, So let's see what the salaries look like. Because if at some point you can, so I feel like if you play Myers, probably playing like Jameer Gibbs.
Here's a question for you guys. If you play Myers as captain, are you not playing Davante Adams and vice versa?
That's the problem, isn't it? I feel like if you're playing Myers, you almost shouldn't play Adams. You should go Amon-Ra. Like it should be Myers Amon-Ra as like a more balanced approach.
Let's see.
Myers is more just affordability. I really think Adams is going to outscore Amon-Ra. I'm not doing Jimmy G.
Last 3 weeks, Myers has been the number 1.
So let's go Myers. Yeah, but that was without Jimmy G. But Michael Mayer. Bobbywow, you said your favorite is Laporta.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
1, 2, 3 studs. Not the studliest of studs, but 3 of them. Then from here, we're just going to pick one more stud
and
go to the dud zone.
Gibbs for me.
Jameer?
What do you got left?
6,700, which leaves us in a really awkward place. But actually, this allows us to do something interesting. Let me swap this out for Devontae. All right, so with Devontae Adams in there,
that's a huge difference.
It's a big difference.
You're also missing the highest scorer on the slate in Jared Goff. So I mean,
goodness gracious, the papers. Hold on.
I do like Goff in that one.
Throw in. You can't do Goff and this, so you have to make a choice. If you wanted Goff,
it's all about choices.
Goff or Gibbs to me. I that would be who I would cut.
All right, so keep Gibbs in there. Amon-Ra, Mayer, Gibbs, Goff.
Laporta.
6,150.
Put Laporta in. What do you have left?
Laporta. This doesn't. Oh, and
that's more comfortable.
And there's your kicker.
There we go.
The money back.
That might be it.
Or Riley Patterson. Which one is playing?
Patterson. I was gonna say, don't put that in with the guy who's not on the team.
4 pieces from Detroit.
Right there. Woo.
With the two with the captain on the 2 side, I don't mind that.
Yeah,
I
0
like that
QB.
lineup a lot.
No, there's a QB in there.
Yeah, we got Goff in here. So we got Goff, Laporta, Amon-Ra. Come back, the Myers brothers, and a kicker.
Yeah.
By the way, the kicker could be swapped out for the other kicker. I like it. Putting it in.
Good. It's balanced. I like it a lot.
Yeah, Ra should get the 19 targets, though. He's correct. But Adams can get 14 targets and outscore Amon-Ra. Listen, I want. Let me be clear. Like for me, that has Amon-Ra in it. Like Devontae Adams for me is the best play, followed by Amon-Ra.
Really?
Just on a raw fantasy points.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, Devontae hasn't scored since Pittsburgh in week 3.
there's been matchups that he's gone up against elite cornerbacks where it was like, oh shit.
Oh, I had to change my password 3 times on Sunday. 3 times.
This is why I literally cannot play on
damn
FanDuel
site.
Oh, it worked.
Woo.
Now I'm
You're human. I'm proud of you.
Anyway, all right, let's just do the cheat sheet, and I'll figure this out in the background where not everybody needs to know what my password is. So let's see here. Hold on. Back to the cheat sheet. Here we go. All right, let's talk a little bit of FanDuel.
Yeah, we can talk FanDuel, right? So I think that obviously our pool at the top is a little more condensed. I still obviously really like Jared Goff. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is live. You could play Jimmy G, but I don't love it. I think Amon-Ra, Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs all could potentially get there on FanDuel as well. But it's again, as we've noted many times, it's really tough for anybody that's not a quarterback to get there.
Yeah, it seems like Jared Goff. I agree with your stars here. Jared Goff is the smash.
Yep.
Followed by Jahmyr Gibbs has some potential there. Although I'd say lower. I'd say he's less exciting than you would think. Jacobs has to be on the list. I would have Devontae ahead of Amon-Ra personally, but just by a smidge. It's close because Adams has a little more touchdown equity. Amon-Ra's more of a volume guy, but
Devontae Adams, like, just I don't love
Bobby,
it.
what
Kevin.
are you saying there?
Just saying he's got 3 touchdowns. Interesting note, not super surprising, but either Adams or Myers have scored a touchdown in every game this season, but they've never scored a touchdown in the same game. So just back to that, playing one or the other. But yeah, Adams only has 3 touchdowns this season so far.
If you go back to look through, if you go back and look through Devontae Adams' history, you're gonna see those bad games that he had. They were up against teams with an elite CB1,
Chicago,
or like the Patriots, where the Patriots are just going to take out your best guy. What's that?
I said Jalen Johnson is pretty legit, but yeah.
I mean, Jair Alexander.
Trash. Did you see his comments yesterday? What a loser.
What a bum. Total bum. Packers stink.
He's a bum.
Yeah.
But no, you're absolutely right. I mean, Adams, in theory, has the highest ceiling on this slate.
Historically has the highest ceiling, right?
Yeah, that's
like, and he has a 45-point DraftKings game this year, right? Like, that's insane.
That's and that was with Jimmy G at the helm. So, this is what I'm saying.
Let's not
go crazy here.
We're not going nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to literally open up FanDuel, and now they got to ping my phone. And
oh, fuck. It's the worst.
They should be wearing the turd hat.
Somebody mock that.
FanDuel needs to put a turd hat on their entire website. Just like you show up, and instead of all those ads on the side, it's just a turds everywhere.
Right on the logo.
All right. So let me get back to the cheat sheet here. So of course we want our running backs, we want our quarterbacks, we want all that good stuff. Oh my God, the chat is getting crazy.
Nuts.
So you said there's some bargains here on FanDuel in the salary. Oh my, wait, what?
Yeah, it's wild.
Oh shit.
Like, it's almost like you almost have to build to just see, like, oh, I can get this guy and this guy and this guy, because that's not how it usually is.
Yeah, no, FanDuel's kind of fun. Look at this. So you get in the quarterback for 11.5.
Oh my.
Yep.
That is crazy.
Myers
Jahmyr Gibbs at 12K. Devontae Adams 12. Damn. You can I'm sorry. I don't even need to know who the turds are because I believe
you don't need them. You don't need them.
Hold on a second. This is ridiculous.
Jared Goff, Devontae, and Jacoby on FanDuel.
Devontae.
It's that cheap.
Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's see. 10-5, 11-5. Jahmyr Gibbs, Josh Jacobs, Amon-Ra illness. So Jahmyr Gibbs. Well, I could do Myers, but I could get Gibbs. He's a running back. And then I got a kicker.
Yeah. You're feeling pretty good about it.
And this same version of a lineup, you're right. I can get, if I needed Myers in there, he's readily available. And Sam Laporta, easy to afford.
That's
There's
crazy.
a million ways to build this lineup.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's kind of wild over
Check
on
this out.
FanDuel.
Look at this.
Like you could just build like multiple versions of that.
Sam Laporta, Jacoby
Yeah,
Myers.
Yeah, that's what I just built.
I love that lineup.
Is this too easy?
That's the problem.
The fuck?
Throw that in some
James,
cashy
I mean, I
cash.
think
Who
that
am I
here's the
missing?
thing.
Wait a minute.
if you
We got
leave-
Adams in there. So all we had to do was skip Amon-Ra and Josh Jacobs, or again, I could do a Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yep. And like, so here's the thing on FanDuel, right? Like, obviously, it feels really easy. It's good. Like, you got if you're gonna get sneaky, it's guys like Jameson Williams, who's only 8,000, and you got to feel good about, or you got to be okay with leaving money on the table.
It's the Amon-Ra math. That's what it comes down to.
If you're trying to, yeah, that's right. Let's actually convey this message, right? If you're trying to win a tournament on FanDuel, what I just did is super unlikely to win any kind of tournament. At least it's super unlikely to solo win one, right? If that one, what just happened on screen, it's you and maybe
4,000
300 to 400 other lineups that are exactly the same. Maybe 400. So that ain't gonna win you any money. So I guess this is where we need to look below the kicker zone and see if there are any viable plays. Craig Reynolds can score a touchdown.
I mean, this uses all the salary too, but like you can go Goff, Garoppolo, Amon-Ra, Wiz Khalifa, and Jacoby Myers. That's a good lineup.
I want touchdown scorers, and that's not the Wiz, right? You know, he could score a touchdown. He could, but he's also probably not super likely.
But I mean,
Mayer,
you're not going to get a turd. You're not going to get a turd that's going to score, right?
Yeah, Michael Mayer, 7,500, tight end, touchdown guy.
The Halloween narrative with Michael Myers.
You gotta have double. You gotta have the Myers brothers.
Ooh.
But look at this. You put Michael Mayer in here. Now can I get to Amon-Ra? No. But you can play Jahmyr Gibbs and still have 1,500 left over. That's pretty wild. So
yeah, crazy.
Double quarterback on FanDuel, no problem.
It's very easy to we never can play double quarterback.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. Last night I think it was a crazy tie, and nobody made any money. On FanDuel DraftKings, you made some money.
Yep.
You know, I ran 70% Eckler at captain yesterday.
And lost money?
No, I actually did. It didn't lose money because I did so much Eckler that even though I didn't win the tournament, I put so many lineups in the money that it worked out okay. But yeah, I mean, look, FanDuel is really kind of over easy. I would say it's not my favorite platform for showdowns in general. It's a little bit too tie-y for my taste. But
it is kind of fun to build tonight, which I feel like FanDuel is not always the funnest place to build lineups. So
yeah, you could build pretty much good lineups across the board. And on DraftKings, I think there's a lot of creative ways to build.
Yep.
Adams, Amon-Ra. I like the pass catchers the most. So it's going to be Adams, Amon-Ra, Jacoby for me as my top 3 exposed captains. What about you guys? Give me your top 3 captains that you'll have the most of on DraftKings.
Go ahead, Josh.
Well, I'm thinking. Okay. Myers, Gibbs, Goff.
Madness says Myers, Gibbs, Goff. Stop it. Myers says
I was gonna say Jameson Williams.
I like Jameson as a dart.
Madness is saying it's Jameson Williams night.
He's a Packers fan. He doesn't know anything.
That's a good point.
Vikings and Packers fans in your little rivalry. You know,
Packers are ants.
As a Jets fan, we don't even have a real rival team. Like the Patriots are supposed to be. It used to be the Patriots or the Dolphins, but even those teams can't get it. They're like, yeah, you guys suck. They're like, we don't hate you that much anymore. We feel sorry for you. You know what's the worst? When your rival feels bad for you and they don't even want to make fun of you anymore. Like they're just like, we don't want to pile on, Jets fans. We feel bad. That's worse. I'd rather have an active rivalry with true hatred, not pity from like New England. Patriots fans are like, no, we feel bad for you. So anyway, Bobby Wow, your favorite three?
I think I'm probably going to go. I'll go Myers, Gibbs, and Laporta.
All right.
No one said Adams. No one said Amon-Ra. Everybody wants to pay down. We'll see how that goes.
Because you're both those guys. Yeah, you're those three. You're those two.
Yeah, I didn't say you have to be different. I just want to know what you're. I don't want you to be different from me. I want to know what you're doing, and then I will do that too. That's why I'm asking the question. That's why I ask.
It's more tournament. I think your approach is a little more balanced.
Wow.
Me and DFS North a little more risque.
Risque.
Wow. Risky and risque.
Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do.
I love that.
Yeah, great.
All right, guys. If you need me to tell you what to do, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, sign up to DFS Army. We got it all going on right now. NBA. By the way, on Thursday night, I didn't share this, but we talked about at the end of the Showdown breakdown how like NBA, it's just been like a cash printing machine of the projections, and just like hit and go, especially on tiers. So of course, me and Burns, right after we shut it down and there was like 10 minutes to lock, both are scrambling to put a lineup. We just like
I did it too.
Yeah, we duped for first place in like some $27 whatever was left, and I'm watching it going. Fucking Burns did exactly what I did. The second the thing ended, I hit optimize, just took the lineup without even checking. I had no idea who's even playing at basketball. I don't pay attention to it, and I just throw a lineup in, and me and Burns tie for second place in this little small tournament. I thought it was hilarious because I was like, that motherfucker did the exact same thing that I did, and I scrambled it. Like there was 5 minutes left, and we got that lineup in. So that happened. So we are killing it across the board right now. You want to be able to get all the Bobby Wow wisdom nuggets, DFS Up North, spitting out Gus Edwards in his 10 for 10 article this weekend. We got it going on in DFS Army. Sign up. Code NBA23 for new subscribers gets you 23% off. For Core 4 is the best one right now in terms of like if you only do NFL and NBA, you do the Core 4, it covers them both, gets NBA in the Discord 23. As well. I think it's like $49.99, take off 23%. So it's like $39. It's fucking ridiculous. It's too low. We're actually way too cheap. I'm actually gonna raise that shit. Fuck that.
No, come on.
Sick of it. Sick of it. Raise it up. All right. Anyway, good luck tonight, everybody. We will see you on top of those leaderboards. Let's do this.